good? It's Cruz, back with another tutorial. Today we're going to go over the biggest record off DC4, Litty, featuring Tory Lanez. First thing everybody always wants to know about is Tory's vocals.
Fly the bit from the tropic and Litty again.
It's going to dry, and then I'll show you with everything kind of put together how it sounds.
Hopping the red and I bought it, it's Litty again. Fly the bit from the tropic and Litty again.
This auto-tune is like the most basic auto-tune, but it's so dope because it's something about it keeps it right in pocket without you having to do any adjustments to, you know, the amount of auto-tune and humanizing, things like that. So there's three effects: hard, soft, and pitch correct. And of course, you know, the hard effects is the you know, the most amount of auto-tune you can get out of this plugin.
Hopping the red and I bought it, it's Litty again. Fly the bit from the tropic and Litty again. All of my partners is popping, you know.
Gave some air. He added a pretty drastic amount at almost like 11K, a lot of air. And then cut him out.
And I bought it, it's Litty again.
Cut out some of that mud up to 92. Added some compression.
Hopping the red and I bought it, it's Litty again.
This is the same thing we do with Meek's vocal, the R compressor and the R Vox.
Hopping the red and I bought it, it's Litty again. Fly the bit from the tropic and Litty again.
Just adds like a dope tone that a lot of the classic compressors don't really give you. Then this is the sauce right here. This reverb, this is the reverb that everybody checks for on Tory's vocal.
Yeah. Hopping the red and I bought it, it's Litty again.
It's like night and day.
Yeah. Hopping the red and I bought it, it's Litty again. Yeah. Hopping the red and I bought it, it's Litty again.
So this is a Lexicon plate reverb, like very basic reverb. It doesn't have to be Lexicon. I mean, this is what gave him this sound, but you know, whatever reverb that you have, even if you don't have Lexicon, the most important thing are the settings that you use on your reverb. So if you notice his pre-delay is pretty dramatic. He has it at 10 milliseconds. So that's the amount of time it takes for you to get that reverb tone, and then he has it at 3.2 seconds. So that's the amount of time that the reverb's gonna last. And then what he does is he'll do an aux with the reverb on it, and you know, just kind of feed it to the vocal and adjust it just based on, you know, what fits with the record. So
hopping the red and I bought it, it's Litty again. Fly the bit from the tropic and Litty again. All of my partners is popping, you know that we Litty again. All of the foreigners on college, you know that we Litty again. They don't want to see the squad, they don't want to see the rain, they don't want to see a bitch up in the stars like she going out of space.
That's dope. That's super dope. Shout out Play Picasso. I had to holler at him before I gave y'all too much sauce. Meek heard this instrumental, you know, started kind of, you know, like what he does, he doesn't write anything down, so he was just vibing, just kind of like coming up with an idea.
Woo! I'm on my way to an island and I'm popping,
you know, with Meek, his mind's working so fast because none of this is on paper, so it's like as he's getting the ideas, he's flowing. Once he picks the beat that he wants and it's loaded up, he'll just kind of, you know, vibe to it and just kind of come up like, what am I going to say on the record? Like, you can tell he's kind of just, you know, he'll just kind of be rapping to himself.
Right.
And then when he's ready, he'll get in the booth and he'll just do bars at a time. You know what I mean? Like, he'll do
kind
4
of just put
bars
it together.
You know, play the 4 bars back, come up with the next, you know, and just kind of like coming up with an idea. And the energy, the tempo of the song, and with everything going on, he was just ready to come back strong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, it's Litty again. Like, you know what I mean? That was like his whole concept.
Happen to you niggas, what you fucking ran the door for?
we were playing the record for a few months.
Oh, it was a few months before Tory got on.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
so
okay, cool.
the record was already kind of,
it was set in stone already.
It was well, it wasn't really set in stone. It was like, it was kind of already set up.
Mm-hmm.
And then once he played it for Tory, he was like, you'd be good for this record. You know what I mean? So they met up in Miami. He was playing it for Tory, and then, next thing I know, I'm sending over, the record without the hook, and with the open verse.
Right.
So then he left him with the record, and I think I was like at a casino or something like that. He sends me the shit to my phone, like, check it out. And I was like, yo, this is a smash. And ends up being the biggest record off DC4.
Right.
They hate suckers. I score your bitch like a layup.
So with Meek's vocal, you can get the same settings with the Dream Chasers Pro Tools template. Same settings we use. We always start off with the de-esser and cut out some of that harshness at 3K. The audio track, give them a little air at 10K. Cut them out to, on this record I cut it to about 130. Our compressor, the C4.
Woo! I'm on my way to an island and I'm popping shit at the pilot. Niggas be broken, be starving, but still talking shit like they violent. They say that they honest, talk money, these niggas gon' say that they got it. Getting out with a kid in success and these niggas gon' blame it on talent. They don't wanna see you win. They don't wanna see the Wraith. You don't wanna see a bitch caught up in the stars like she out of space. Mention that they kinda at the mention and I'm running out of space.
What I used on Meek's vocal was actually just our verb, and for delay we always use the H delay. So on this one we had a half note delay, EQ'd it a little bit just to kind of keep it out of the way of the lead.
Woo! I'm on my way to an island and I'm popping shit at the pilot. Woo! I'm on my way to an island and I'm popping shit at the pilot. Fly shit on.
And with the ad-libs on this one, I didn't go too radio with it just because the ad-libs were so dope. I didn't want them to get filtered out too much. So they're kind of, I just turned them down a little bit and then just cut a little bit of the low end. This is something I learned from E-Mix, just to keep the ad-libs out of the way of the lead. Have them panning back and forth. It's a pretty dope effect.
I'm on my way to an island and I'm popping shit at the pilot. Fly shit on. Niggas be broken, be starving, but still talking shit like they violent. Niggas is broke.
A lot of people ask about, how you keep your instrumental and your vocals balanced out. I just use trim, and we include this on the Pro Tools template that we have on breakitdown.com.
Way to an island and I'm popping shit at the pilot. Fly shit on. Niggas be broken, be starving, but still talking shit like they violent. Niggas is broke. They say that they honest, talk money, these niggas gon' say that they got it. Getting out with a kid in success and these niggas gon'.
So you see, the vocals were drowned out. If I left it at 0, I would have to do some work on the vocals, and it would probably just make the track sound distorted. So with Litty, one of the biggest things that I wanted to talk about was the actual track. Producers will send us a record and, it won't necessarily fit the vibe. I mean, because they don't know what's going to come out of the record, right? They don't know what type of song, the artist is going to make. So a lot of times, especially with Meek, he'll have me move certain parts of the beat around just to kind of fit the vibe of the record. And with this one in particular, I didn't have to move parts around too much. I mostly just focused on dramatic drops and, some stutter effects and things like that. And I'll kind of go over that with you. But this is the original, so you can kind of hear before and after. This is the original beat, how it was laid out.
Getting out with a kid in success and these niggas gon' blame it on collar. They don't wanna see you win. They don't wanna see the Wraith. You don't wanna see a bitch caught up in the stars like she out of space. Mention that they kinda at the mention and I'm running out of space. Tell your homie keep on coming out his mouth, sending something right his way.
See, so it's kind of, the verse is dope, but the drama in the record, like it's just kind of like plain, you know what I mean? Like the beat it's just like repetitive throughout. So I wanted to add some stuff just to make it exciting to fit the tone and the things that Meek's talking about. So here's with the adjustments on there.
Getting out with the kid is success and these niggas gon' blame it on talent. They don't wanna see you win. They don't wanna see the race. You don't wanna see a bitch caught up in the stars like she out of space. Mention that they kinda at the mention and I'm running out of space. Tell your homie keep on coming.
See, so it fits with this song. You know what I mean? Like you want to have a little something just to hype the people up on key parts of his verse. So what I did was, and I talk about this in my first tutorial, it's really important that the first thing you do when you get your beat in the session is to lock in the tempo, make sure you have the correct tempo, so that you're on grid, so that you can do these things and still be on beat and not have to, do extra work. So, with dropouts, make sure it comes in on a kick or on a certain hit. So what you do is make sure you have the tab to transients active. So for example, this is what I'm looking for, and I wanted to drop this part out right here. So just to make sure I'm coming right in on the kick, just tab. And if you notice, it'll bring you right to where the kick is going to come back in. So you just hit B to separate that out.
They don't want to see the race. You don't want to see a bitch.
And right here, I had to actually add in, drag a kick over here because originally it was just kind of like the tail end of an 808.
You don't want to see a bitch.
It didn't have an impact, so you just added a kick there. All right, so that's Litty, the breakdown of the record Litty off DC for Life. Stream that, buy that if you haven't already. Thanks for checking in. BreakItDWN.com. Upgrade your sound. This is Cruz signing off.